Hello and welcome to a new video. We're going to play Talos Principle 2 some more. I've lowered the volume on various things because my dialogue was being kind of drowned out by the music especially, so hopefully this is better. If there's one criticism I have of the game, it's you go through an Egypt level at the very start of the game, and then you wake up, and I mean, I'd argue even having the option of like an exposition dump is a problem, because then you have this entire city area out here that gives you the lore of the first game in a much more interesting way. There's like a statue of the scientist that kind of founded this whole idea. There's a museum where you can see the artifacts from the first game, or the QR codes of the characters from the first game, and even like, you know, little miniature versions of the worlds you went through, including an Egypt one. So I get like the prologue wanting to kind of establish some of the core puzzle elements, but it should not have been an Egypt level. And quite frankly, the robot that kind of gives you a full-on breakdown of the first game's story and whatnot probably shouldn't have done that if this is an option and far more interesting. After all, something like this at least rewards exploration and inquisitiveness. I like how now you can see the entire border of what's explorable. And there's like so much shit that you can't look into. I mean, they did the prologue area like a different location, you know, that would have solved the fact that we already have a kind of Egypt area. I think it's that I can't see it. Egypt area, and yeah, you know, have the players explore and find out the story to the first game rather than just exposition.
So, what's the verdict? Are we going?
Yes, this is an opportunity we can't pass up.
I guess Byron was pretty convincing, hmm? Well, we'll see. I just wonder how much of the city is going to fall apart while I'm gone. Actually, we haven't been formally introduced. I'm Melville, New Jerusalem's only decent engineer. Saved you from the elevator.
Oh. Nice to meet you. People call me 1K.
Pleasure. Now let's get this show on the road. You ready to go?
Yep. And get the Wanderer's Achievement, embark on the expedition.
Here we go. Hold on to your hats.
We really need to update those language libraries.
Thank you for coming along, everyone. We have a chance to make a real difference here. It's not just about what we find on that island. It's about who we want to be, as a people, as a civilization. To remind ourselves that we used to be wanderers, explorers. We used to yearn for distant shores and dream of building new cities. Let's see if we can rekindle that flame a little.
All right, this is going to be a long journey, so I would like to ask you to switch to sleep mode to conserve power until we arrive at the island.
Nighty-night.
At least let me see the dam. I mean, that was like the end of the first game. Oh, more Egypt.
You have chosen a dangerous.
Wakey, wakey, robot people. Say goodbye to Elohim and say hello to the mysterious island.
Status report, please.
We hit some headwinds over the ocean, so fuel consumption turned out a bit higher than expected, but we should be okay. We're approaching the center of the island now. This should be the location of the largest of the artificial structures we detected.
How large are we talking? Do we have precise measurements?
It should be coming into view just about... Whoa. It's big.
You can say that again.
That is a bloody megastructure. If I had a spine, it'd be shivering.
Ha! I knew this would be exciting. Yakut, find us a place to set down.
On it.
Yeah, they're like struggling for
It
fuel.
really is incredible.
Remember to turn on streaming, everyone?
Have I ever mentioned that I hate flying? If our creators had intended us to fly, they'd have given us jetpacks.
And... touchdown.
Act 1, A Voice in the Wilderness. But they're like strapped
All right,
for fuel.
everybody. I'm sure you're all just as excited as I am, but let's at least have some semblance of order. Yakut, I want a map of the island and a molecular analysis of, well, everything. Melville, tell me what the giant pyramid does. The rest of us will start exploring.
Shouldn't the expedition leader stay at the VTOL?
Why do you hate fun, Al?
I don't hate fun. I'm just mildly suspicious of it.
Excellent. Then we can all go.
This underground structure seems to be part of some kind of transport system. No power.
I think I might have accidentally skipped over some poignant dialogue by being goofy. But like, if they're so strapped for fuel that a little bit of turbulence, like, is a problem for them, I really don't see how the founders' plan overall is viable.
This underground structure seems to be part of some kind of transport system. No power, though.
I'm not making any promises, but I might be able to fix the transport system. However, I don't like just randomly poking at things. That's how you get electrocuted. So please check the surrounding structures to see if you can find anything that might help me make sense of this stuff. Schematics, blueprints, a manual would be great.
This seems different from the other structures. Older.
Have a look around, 1K.
Well, here's what's probably powering it. Some really old-ass generator. But what's fueling the generator? And everything here is just conveniently pristine and spotless.
Looks like they were running some sort of experiment here.
Probably going to be important in the future. On the Universe, a fragment from Stratton's On the Universe. I grant you, then, that man is indeed like Talos and cannot escape his material nature despite the claims of metaphysics, as you have many times said. Too many, perhaps. Repetition is the mother of teaching, at least when the students are hard-headed. But what does this tell us about the nature of the universe, which is what we were discussing? That is the next question we must undertake to answer. We begin with the self because that is what determines our existence as individuals. But the self cannot exist without that which surrounds it. The citizen lives within a city, and the city lives within the cosmos. So now we must apply the principle we have discovered to the wider world and ask, if man is like a machine, could it be that the universe is similar in nature? And if so, what follows from this fact? Footnotes 4. Use of the term metaphysics in this context is likely an error introduced in the Trebizond manuscript, the fragmentary Herculean, I guess, manuscript controversially uses superstitions instead. It's supposed to be somewhat like Hercules, given that Prometheus is a character in this. In some accounts of the story of Prometheus, Hercules eventually frees him from being chained up. I'm not gonna read that. Version 0.01 was successfully deployed. Congratulations. Oh.
Thanks, 1K. Let's see what we've got here. The file format is the same one we use in New Jerusalem, although some parts aren't loading correctly. And it crashed. Hold on. There we go. Okay. You know what? I'll hack together a solution for the transport system.
So who wants to bet that, like, at some point we're gonna have to mix blue and red lasers to get a green laser to do a thing, and so on and so forth.
Golden gates. I wonder what's behind those. Has to be something special, right?
You know what would be special? An explanation.
I mean, there's iconography here. This is probably the founder, Milton, and there's Elohim. Then the founder is, like, talking to, you know, some of the recently made robots. Then New Jerusalem is built, and it's underneath a big old dome. This is, I guess, like a generator. So they know pretty much everything that went on, and what they're planning on. I wonder the fact that the dome hasn't been completed through kind of a wrench in their plans here.
Am I in sleep mode, or did that thing just materialize out of thin air?
Melville, I want an analysis of that particle cloud.
On it. Anyone got a butterfly net?
Well, I think we've seen everything there is to see here. Let's head home. No? Don't want to talk? Transformers and whatnot. probably not in use at this point. Maybe the humble beginnings of this whole area. Like anything else is doing much. Oh yeah, this place. Just board the
Go
car.
ahead and try the capsule, 1K.
No caution about where it might go. Alright.
I'm connecting the transport system to our interface. Hold on.
Grasslands rings, some puzzles, some lost puzzles, gold puzzles, lost labs, stars. I'm probably not gonna 100% this.
Where is the capsule taking 1K?
To that enclosed area in the eastern lowlands. I put all the information we
There's
have
a
on the
cat
map.
in this profile.
We'll catch up with you soon, 1K.
I mean, not only because, like, it's a Let's Play and it might get kind of boring me faffing around and whatnot, but it's entirely possible I wouldn't know how to do these puzzles.
This place is magnificent. Look at that tower. I wonder what it's for.
I guess there's Prometheus, but, something tells me there might be, man behind the curtain. Oh, frogs. In regards to that guy. Are they? It's not a frog. It's a dragonfly. Where's the frog? God damn it. Yeah, something tells me there might be a man behind the curtain in regards to that guy. Oh, that's right.
Is that a puzzle?
Why would there be a puzzle?
Let's solve it and find out. 1K, go ahead.
I have a reoccurring nightmare just like this.
That device was not in the simulation.
And let's see, one blue, so we'll do red and green. There's an achievement for leaving and coming back. So I might as well just get that now, even though I'll probably get it later when a puzzle stumps me.
Whoa! I'm reading an enormous energy spike.
It's another particle cloud.
And a little statue of the thing there. I'm guessing there's 1, 2, 3, 4,
It's headed for the lake.
That many. Let's do. Oh.
I think the cloud's been absorbed by some sort of device.
Fascinating. Melva?
Yeah. I'll add it to the pile of weird stuff.
Well, there's an achievement for that. I didn't get it. Guess the game knew I was bullshitting. So one thing is that, let's see, blue, green, red. What is this? Oh fuck me, there's two of these. Is that like the worlds for Talos 1 were, you know, ancient human locations. Alright, let's see. Got, Alright, so what I understand now is if you want if you want to redirect, you know, lasers, you have to make this green and then you have to attach that to a blue for it to shoot out red. No idea if like the game will be a little bit easier now that I understand the logic, or if I'm just ultra fucked.
I've been playing around with this machine that absorbs the particle clouds. As far as I can tell, it uses the energy of the particles to build giant tetrominos?
Excuse me?
It's another puzzle. Collect enough energy, build a bridge, access the tower. I think.
What is this? A theme park?
Maybe it's an experiment. A rat maze.
It seems like an echo of the simulation. Not a deliberate recreation, but built around the same core principles. Let's not jump to conclusions, though. What's clear is that this place was meant to be explored. So let's do that.
As I was saying earlier, they used ancient, like, human locations for Talos 1, like Rome, Egypt, and medieval era. And they can't really do that with this game, so I guess they have to figure out a different kind of way of making all the locations thematically distinct. So this is a kind of really grassy marshland, I guess. this needs blue and green to do it, but now that's kind of stuck.
Solving these, 1K. Let's see where it leads.
I ran the samples I collected so far. The soil sample results are in line with what would be expected in this type of environment. The samples from the above-ground structures, though, I tried dating them, but the results just don't make sense. None of the typical molecular markers are present. These walls could have been made 10,000 years ago or yesterday. I could try to estimate an age based on erosion and plant growth, but I'm not sure that would make sense given how weird everything else is.
Good work, Yakut. Keep at it.
Pretty similar nature to the statues back in New Jerusalem.
Did something break?
Any progress on the particle clouds?
Yes, but I'm not liking the results.
What are they?
Confusing, irritating, infuriating. Take your pick.
What about the megastructure?
It's big. It's too big. And it's got a lot of energy running through it. Frankly, I think we should be pooping our robot pants. See, that's what I mean about the language libraries. Pooping our pants. Really?
What about you?
Founders Pistons. You want my autobiography now? Fine. I'm one of New Jerusalem's chief engineers. I'm in charge of city maintenance and power management. I'm old as dirt, although not quite as old as that fossil Byron. In short, old, grumpy, keep stuff running.
Do you have any hobbies?
Hobbies? You think I have time for hobbies? That's cute. If I had time for hobbies, all of you would be dead.
Nothing?
What do you want me to say? I like bubble baths, candy, and the concept of Tuesdays. Cities don't maintain themselves. If you don't put real effort into keeping stuff running, it all falls apart in just a few decades. Civilization is always on the brink of collapse unless we do something about it. And I do.
Seems like an argument against the founders' plans again. Because, like, what if that... what if that person dies and, like, everyone's fucked? Oh, something in here. Oh, there we go.
This is very similar to the structure where you found the schematics.
Check out the terminals. Maybe there's something that'll help us understand who built this place. They have to have left something behind.
Server room. Kilo year event from BT Audi Hambo's Anthropocene Dilemmas. The Akkadian Empire, forged in violence by Sargon the Great and his sons, reigned supreme over the city-states of Old Sumer. Enriched by trade with distant lands, fed by the plentiful wheat fields of Mesopotamia, the empire bestrode the world with confidence and pride. Who could oppose the chosen of Anu and Enlil, the masters of the four corners of the world? Then the weather changed, the crops stopped growing, trade collapsed, the empire fell, its capital forgotten. The most likely culprit at the time of writing is the 4.2 kiloyear aridification event, the beginning of the Meghalian Age, a non-anthropogenic drought that may have lasted almost 2 centuries, causing many of the early civilizations around the planet to collapse. This is where our ordinary understanding of time, measured on the small scales of human history, collide with the reality of deep time in our existence within a much bigger picture. We live on a changing planet in a changing universe. Climatic optimums are temporary, extinction is norm. Well, the collapse of, human civilization in general wasn't due to, natural occurrence. It was man-made climate change that unleashed a deadly virus from the permafrost. First companions. When the founder awoke, leaving the garden behind forever, there were 2 more whose bodies had been anointed by the progenitor. The gold disc breathed life into them, and their names were Eustathius and Cornelius. The founder showed them all she had discovered. Together they explored the dead city and saw the ruins to which humankind had fallen. It was then that the founder understood that the sins of the past must not be repeated, and that only through humility could the future be saved. Aside from Cornelius and Eustathius, there were 10 whose bodies the progenitor had not anointed in due time. Now it was upon the founder to complete this work and begin the resurrection. In this matter, Cornelius proved of great assistance. A long string of numbers and letters. After many tribulations, the 10 were brought to life, and the 12 were born after the founder are called the first companions. These are the names: Eustathius, Cornelius, Aurora, Sun, Sarabai, Byron, Melamptus, Yemo, Hypatia, Niam, Benaroya, and Lifstrus. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. It's funny how you can take something that's 90% true and 10% false and create something that's 100% misleading. Fail to load comment. So I wonder, is there another civilization that somewhat spawned out of robots that also know about the founder? And it's interesting that some of the text gets corrupted. That was something that happened to the archives, Milton, due to just how much time had passed since humanity died and the simulation was running. And now it kind of implies it's happening here too, but maybe on a smaller scale, which implies there's some pretty deep time behind this megastructure. Trials, base camp established, 0.02 successfully deployed. Doesn't seem to be anything else down here.
Did something break?
Did you have a look at one of those labs?
I did. It's interesting. The tech is a bit older, but it's been heavily modified to be more efficient. And it's not the kind of hack job you'd expect either. Whoever did this knew what they were doing. We could probably learn something from them.
Design-wise, I find it kind of interesting that this character is somewhat asymmetrical with that piece there. Where could all this tech have come from?
I guess it could be discarded New Jerusalem tech. The mayor made us throw away a bunch of stuff that was perfectly fine if you ask me. But I'm not sure. I'll check to see if I can find any serial numbers and I'll get back to you.
I mean, even if it's discarded New Jerusalem stuff, someone had to, like, then pick that up and use it. So, number 4. Green one. Can I, like, connect? No, I cannot. So I'll probably need to do that. Blue and red. You all here. Put you there. Bring you back on. Oh, fuck. There we go.
Good job, 1K.
So it's gonna be, impermeable obstacles. World endures. Explore content on a lost terminal. Trevor. Trevor Percival Donovan, known to his friends simply as Trev, never as Percy, was part of the extended lifespan project that formed the backbone of the simulation and archive. He helped put together the hardware that made all of us possible. Like Alexandra Drennan, he left behind a series of messages for the future. But unlike Alexandra Drennan or Arkady Chernovsky, Arkady, he was forgotten. Not one building or street in New Jerusalem is named after him. I dug up his files from the archive, and I've been thinking about them a lot. I mean, that is kind of an unfortunate fact about, like, some big-scale scientific projects. I mean, if you've seen the, movie Oppenheimer, I mean, there's obviously Robert Oppenheimer, and it name-drops other famous scientists like, say, Niels Bohr or Albert Einstein, but the Manhattan Project was a huge endeavor by many scientists who are probably going to be largely forgotten by history. Alright, let's hear what Trev has to say, but not Percy.
So I heard that Alexandra is recording these time capsules for you out there, I guess? Robot people of the future, hi. And I thought to myself, surely they'll want to hear more than the wisdom and insight of a brilliant scientist like Alexandra Drennan. Surely they also want to know what I was thinking, a dumbass hardware engineer from Staten Island. Tell us about your insights, Trevor. Why did you spend your last months on Earth helping a crazy old Russian guy build the world's biggest backup drive? Well, let me tell you my story. When I was... Yeah! Yes, Frank. I'm recording right now. Uh-huh. No. You know what? Why don't you go...
I actually want to know. I want to know why he did help a crazy old Russian guy build the world's biggest backup drive. Like, what does he think about the longevity of some aspect of humanity? I mean, and the prospect of being able to just spend time with friends and family, and he decided to forego that. Why? Let's see what's over here. That's gonna go there. Maybe, but why would I... Actually, that'd be useless, because I'm using one of these. But that wouldn't be. Alright, I guess the video game wants me to do that, but... Then this... What's the point? Let's see if I can get that achievement. Get free running. Come back. I can be cheeky. So this is taken off. Yeah.
I have good news, and I have bad news. Still no idea what those particle clouds are, but I've managed to fix the transport system. I mean, I fixed another bit of it. Well, it goes to one more station now. Don't complain. 2 stations are better than none.
An impressive success rate.
Sarcasm. Famously helpful. Why did we bring you along again?
I was being sincere. I guess because I'm new. Like, I'm number 1000, and then all this weird shit happened.
Ah, that's why you're not scared of me yet.
Let's stay focused. We're in unfamiliar territory. We can't afford to get distracted.
Al's right. Yakut, what does the next site look like?
It's a plateau in the mountains. Seems like more of an open area with scattered structures, less enclosed. Couldn't tell much from the drone feed. There's a lot of trees. Looks pretty, though.
Okay. Keep exploring, everyone, but stay alert.
I was being sincere. Like, that, it's an actually impressive success rate. Let's just use this just for shits and giggles. I've already solved that one. I'm just being cheeky.
1K, what's up?
Tell me about yourself.
I don't know if there's much to tell. I'm not that interesting. I'm just a member of the scavenging team. Well, senior member. Lead scavenger, I guess. There's not that many of us left, to be honest, and Garrus doesn't get along with the mayor. What else? I have a cat named Bruce. I like old music. I have a collection of antique bottles. I think that's it.
Tell me about Bruce. I want to know about the kitty cat.
He's 5 years old, half goofball, half psychopath, loves sticking his head into things, chews cables, pees on electrical stuff. Melville banned him from her workshop, but he loves visiting her and peeing on her equipment.
Why do you collect bottles?
I just find it fascinating that these fragile objects have survived for so long. Plus, they're kind of pretty.
I mean, it is, probably pretty novel that's something that fragile could survive. Do you want to solve some of these puzzles? I mean, do I really have to do all the fucking work here?
Oh no, please. No puzzles. I am so bad at puzzles. I barely got out of the booting process. Elohim thought I might be defective.
Why do you become a scavenger?
I've always loved exploration. Seeing new places, that feeling that you're the first person to set foot somewhere after all this time. But it's not even that. It's just seeing new things. The world is full of remarkable sights, and experiencing them changes you. It's not the same as just reading about it.
I mean, there's a bit of an irony in the fact that, places like New Jerusalem, you're gonna see more new things than if you go out and explore the derelict cities by virtue of the fact that the buildings and the statues and whatnot were made after mankind's demise. I agree, discovering the world enriches our lives.
Exactly. Every time I go on another mission, I find something that surprises me, that extends my horizons in ways I couldn't have anticipated. The world is so much bigger than we are. It contains things that we can't even imagine, and if we limit ourselves to our own minds, we'll never grow.
What's the farthest you've been from New Jerusalem?
It might be this. Although there was an expedition to a superconductor storage facility up north, incredibly well preserved, but the logistics were an absolute nightmare. Now that I think about it, there might be some of that in you.
Have you seen anything like the mega structure in your travels?
Our ancestors built some pretty amazing things. Huge cities, factories, mines, monuments to their history, but nothing quite like this, no.
That's all. You know what this game needs? More frogs. I saw one frog and I'm hearing ribbiting. I'm not seeing any frogs. They're such a well-labeled creature too. You look at one and you just know that is absolutely a frog. One of those, it reminds me of on the suits for the Poppy Playtime employees, they have like a poppy flower with an eye in the center. Probably not what the developers of this game wanted people to think about, but that's out of their hands. Alternatives. Blue and red makes green. Weird. Green and blue makes red. once you know the logic of how these works, it gets a little easier. Absent Omen, please don't fucking filter me, super hard video game. I guess if you want to structure some things. Oh, there's my shadow. Fantastic lighting if you can do something like that, or maybe I'm just easily impressed. I'll keep that in mind. Let's solve this since I'm here. Alright, got one of these. Got one of these. There. Is there anything else? Such trouble. Step after another.
Melville, what did you just upload?
A photo?
I mean, technically you're right, but
Is that? I can't tell what that is.
how did you even manage? You're literally taking a picture with your eyes, Melville. I don't even know how to make my eyes go out of focus.
Clearly you've never listened to one of Herman's speeches.
Some of us are busy doing actual science, not just sightseeing. Thank you.
And I'm doing puzzles. It unlocks all the science, so thank me. Question mark up here. Let's go see what it is. I've heard some criticisms of having, like, you know, one of these sort of generic compasses and whatnot, but I would be fucked without it. Alright, this is one of those, ancient puzzles.
It's strange that some of these puzzles seem disconnected from the rest. Like it's all unfinished.
Or still evolving.
Alright, you can do that. Can you do that there? Alright, here's blue. Red and blue makes green. That's only half of it. actually. I think I will want, like, a permanent one there. Alright, took me a while, but I got it.
The bridge ring seems to be fully charged now. Try accessing the tower, 1K.
Basically, you get that one there, and then you can look around back.
Interesting monument. Decorative for another puzzle.
Yeah. Here's puzzle number 8. That opens that. Oh, these aren't ladders? Oh. Nope. Can, maybe just about thread the needle there. Let's see, I need to make green. Need to do that, Oh, need to do green there as well. Alright, let's see. Just blue, so how's that I connect you here? If I had just one more component piece. Nope. Actually, hold on. Did something. What's this? Oh, that's one of the all-gifted.
When the first man picked up the first stone, he did not do so to forge a tool. He did so to smite his brother.
Well, I did, like...
I think that was more like a recording. The entity didn't appear, and the system didn't react either.
Stars. Another reflection of the simulation.
Well, see, now I'm even more confused, because I thought, you know, this stuff here was to solve that. This is high up. It should be able to connect that and that. Set you down here. Actually, I'll set you down here. I will temporarily here. Be there. Well, that's probably how it wants me to solve that. Ah, crap. Although that is now attached to that. So if I remove you, can I just... Alright, there we go. Becoming smarter, return to a puzzle.
That was extremely convoluted.
Well, I finally got that achievement. Oh man, that was a bit of a brain teaser. It was... Yeah, I mean, you know, getting that attached to, like, everything and figuring out, like, when to... I mean, that's like two things that can cause pressure that has to be over there. Well, I mean, it's still like a gate thing over here, so... brutalist architecture. What's this? Founding from Hypatia's Journals, Volume 1, The Founding of New Jerusalem. Day 1. We finally set out from the dam today. The site that Athena and Cornelius picked for the city isn't far, but the vegetation makes the going difficult. We found the secondary supply site easily enough, thanks to Alexandra Drenning's instructions, but while I still have to compile a detailed inventory, it seems that many of the more complex materials are in bad shape. They must have expected the simulation to fulfill its purpose a lot sooner, but then they probably expected all 12 of us to be there from day 1, not just Athena. Tonight we have to use the 2 recharging pods that we brought from the dam in 4-hour shifts, which is just as well. There's no telling what sort of critters are hiding in the undergrowth, and most of them will have to learn that our kind isn't edible. Baby steps. From the introduction to Are We There Yet?, Where We Came From, Where We're Going, and Why You'll Need Snacks by Valir Cortira Romero. Sometimes people point at the first few hundred or thousand years of human history and say, look at how ugly it all is. Look at what a mess we've made. Maybe modernity was a bad idea. Maybe we should stick to living like cavemen. And I get it. It is ugly and messy. But the mistake is thinking that where we are right now is the endpoint. That this is adulthood of the human species. I mean, try to apply what you know about human development and human history. Think about babies. Babies are ugly. Admit it. We all know it. They look like tiny old people covered in mucus. They have soft heads, and they grow into children, tiny sociopaths with underdeveloped brains. And then they become teenagers, pimply, self-righteous lunatics driven by hormones. And then, slowly, if you're lucky, they gradually become adults. The development of the human individual is always ugly and messy, but that's the point. It's development towards something. The same applies to humanity as a whole. On a genealogical scale, we've barely just come into existence. We've gotten through the baby phase, just about survived our childhood, but we're barely teenagers. Stopping here would be disastrous, and a betrayal of everything that we could still become. We may feel the weight of history on our shoulders, but this is just the prologue. To put it in pop culture terms, we haven't made it out of the tutorial yet. Just because it's all pimples and hormones and frustration right now doesn't mean it's never going to change. Well, that is an interesting way to view humanity. Something that kind of comes up in my mind whenever people are talking about history and condemning the ways people thought about things and different groups of people in the past is you can never say that you're the definitive moral arbiter. History will go on, and things that you thought were completely okay, that were just a given by the virtue of the time you were born in, might be seriously condemned by people in future generations, even if realistically there was no solid chance of you not being able to partake in those behaviors. I'm not sure if we really are in the teenage phase or not, and unfortunately many people who do grow up to adulthood don't necessarily grow up to be actual adults. They still think and act like children. Hopefully that's not humanity as a whole. Dead City. From the Considerations of Beginnings and Endings by Elwin. I think that all that time Athena spent in the Dead City changed her. I don't think she had conceived of the goal before. I think she believed fully in the naivety naively optimistic ideas of Alexandra Drennan. But walking through those ruins is a visceral experience. She spent a great deal of time there looking for resources. It's the sheer amount of death that gets to me. How many animals our ancestors killed? Many to the point of extinction. Entire species eradicated, sometimes for the most superficial reasons. Whenever humans arrived somewhere, death would follow. And then the great blowback, the death of billions of thinking beings, the extinction of humanity itself. It's too horrific to truly imagine, but I suspect the founder spent a great deal of time doing just that. That's what she must have realized. There was no way back to the growth-obsessed, all-consuming civilization of the past. And yet, the founders and Athena's walking through like a dead city, a dead, lifeless city, but Alexandra Drennan was living through the extinction of mankind. She was living through the death of billions of people, and she still had the optimistic ideal of being able to go on. How many animals our ancestors killed? I don't think you want to try to imagine the amount of suffering that exists in the natural world, even if human beings weren't around. Predators and parasites and disease is abundant. Nature is not pretty. But mankind is able to bring a little bit of order to things. Yes, we've driven many species to extinction, but we've also given many species a sense of comfort and belonging. We've domesticated wolves into dogs and given dogs a comfortable life. We've given cats a comfortable life. Hell, we've saved certain species from extinction. Pandas, quite frankly, would not be around if we didn't find them cute. Hashtag kill the pandas. Alright, that works. Cool. Let's get you out of here. I think I might have fucked this up too much. I'm gonna reset. I think I get you're not alone, your quest for light. You have no tokens, you're not alone, your quest for the light. Find one of my sparks, I'll free the fire hit.
Looks like Prometheus has given us a way to circumvent some of these puzzles.
So each puzzle has a backdoor. I guess the mythological Prometheus was kind of a trickster, so that tracks.
Alright, on.
1K solved all the puzzles in this area, but nothing happened. There was a brief blip in the system, though. Maybe it'll do something later. There has to be some sort of point.
I'm seeing one more question mark way over there, so let's take a look. Might as well, right? So we don't go where we're supposed to go. Oh, it's another one of these. Lift has your... I'm not even gonna try. From the Lives of the First Companions by Randolph. Is perhaps the most mysterious of the first companions. A wanderer and mystic by nature, he would venture far from New Jerusalem on his own, recording his thoughts as he explored harsh and distant lands. These recordings garnered him a group of devoted followers to whom he tried to impart his wisdom. In the troubled times following the founder's disappearance, he and his disciples set out on a journey to reach the opposite end of the world by foot. They have not been heard from since. So another issue with the founder's ideals is like, this asshole and his buddies also just decide to wander off, so there's not really 1,000 people in the city anymore. There's not 1,000 people to fully maintain the city. People are eventually just going to leave.
There is a pleasure in arriving on this island. The pleasure of being the first to step foot here in hundreds of years. It is a genuine pleasure, and yet it is also banal. My presence here is of no more significance than that of every other animal. These rocks do not care who walks here, and the millennia between the presence of our ancestors and my brief journey are nothing to them. But even putting it this way is wrong. It is not that the rocks do not care. It is that in some sense they do not exist. I may stand in awe of the cliffs on the southern coast, but the cliffs cannot look back at me with contempt. They cannot do anything at all.
Alright, so I just want to see if I could drown here, and I found something. I'm gonna follow it. So, no idea what I'm doing, I'm just following the blue sparkly thing. It's shiny, so it must be good, right? That's how you humanity. Going this thing? Oh, nope.
Relevant, but St. Edwald believed that tetrominoes represented the name of God and God's ability to reshape the world.
True, but he was also mad as a hatter.
One man's madness is another man's genius.
Is no one else seeing this thing? I'm not even sure I built the bridge properly, I just needed to in order to continue following this thing. Where you going, little buddy? All across the
Here's
map.
another one of those monuments.
Chasing light activated Prometheus monument without stopping the spark thing. Oh! The thief of
Not
fire
all things
saw...
must be balanced. When good is weighed against evil, tip the scale.
Alright, so Thanos wouldn't be a big fan of him, but, you know, find my sprite and follow it until it leads you back to me. Well, I did. Didn't really expect that. See, this is why you should try to drown yourselves in video games. You'll discover secrets. What is this? Little fire sprite. The spark, find one of Prometheus's sparks. Just how many fucking collectibles are there? Are there any others? See, now I'm just curious, like, how much hardcore parkour am I gonna have to do? One of these temples.
Another set of golden gates. These must be connected to the ones near the megastructure.
There was a harder set of puzzles in the simulation, right? And maybe they're like that. I know 1K is probably like, yay, harder puzzles. But to me, that sounds like error code 704. No thanks.
So there's like 2 in each world, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 worlds. I think at some point these puzzles are just going to kick my ass, you know? Frogs! And a dragonfly. Frogs! But, there's probably a shit ton I haven't discovered yet, but I think I'll try to progress through the story. Oh, I see. It seems like there's only so... What if I go back on this one? Alright, so when you solve it, unless you solve it, you go back on yourself.
When I was booted up, I was terrible at the Tetromino Rangers.
Those were actually the only ones I was good at. What? I'm just saying.
So if I go back like so, it's not gonna... Alright. You have to actually hit the next area, I guess. See, people were probably calling me crazy for, like, you know, running around like a headless chicken earlier, but that leads to discoveries, I guess. Alright, let's here. Well, a whole lot of nothing. It's interesting that they even have that, though. It'd be just as easy to have it be like, you know, completely blocked off. Big place. Some shimmering purple thing.
Is that some kind of anti-gravity?
I'm not sure. Could be, I guess.
Well, it'll either let me ascend or incinerate me. Let's me ascend.
In the beginning, the gods shaped humankind out of the clay of the earth and gave them life with their own breath. But who is closer to perfection, the creator or the created?
Let's see. Because they came from nature, created because they came from art, not chaos. They are the same, they share the same breath, neither they cannot be compared, neither because perfection is impossible. This probably has more to do with our relationship with humanity than anything. So I'm gonna say the created, because they came from art, not chaos.
Improvement makes straight roads, but the crooked roads, without improvement, are roads of genius. When Prometheus saw that humankind was more alike in nature to the gods than to the animals, he stole the secret of fire from Olympus and shared it with the mortals. Was his theft justified?
I'm gonna go with yes, because knowledge belongs to all. Although this is also a good answer in my opinion.
Fire may belong to the child, but the child will still burn itself. Angered by the betrayal of Prometheus, Zeus punished humankind by creating Pandora. He gave her a box, and when she opened it, from inside escaped sorrow and suffering. All that remained within was hope. What does this mean?
I think in the initial myth it was actually a jar. Zeus intended for humankind not to have hope, so to remain trapped. I think the whole purpose was, you know, suffering and sorrow. Hope was an unintended after effect. Something unintended that ultimately allowed mankind to persevere.
If Zeus did not intend for humankind to have hope, why did he place it within the box? Creature of clay, you stand before the fire. Will it make you whole, or will it destroy you? Consider the shadows cast by the flame, but do not mistake them for truth.
Guys, look at my stream. The beam 1K activated is connecting to the pyramid.
That looks like a massive amount of power.
We need to talk about what just happened. Thoughts?
I'd say there are two distinct issues here. What is the being 1K spoke to, and what is the function of the beam?
Let's start with the Sphinx.
It seems similar to the apparition in New Jerusalem. Presumably the same technology.
What I'd like to know is what we're dealing with, ontologically speaking. Was this a sentient being or some kind of recording?
To be honest, it's kind of hard to tell. I do think it is some kind of security system, but I don't think it's like a conventional one. Maybe it's, I mean, the Sphinx in Greek philosophy was something that gave, Greek mythology was something that gave riddles, and I think it's trying to determine, like, you know, what my disposition on things are. I'm gonna say the interaction wasn't long enough. Maybe one or two more I'll be able to suss out its thinking, but I do think it might be somewhat pre-recorded, as in it has, like, you know... I'll do
Let's
this
skip
one.
that issue for now. What really matters here is what it was trying to achieve by asking those questions.
I think it was testing me.
Testing you to what? See if you're worthy?
That's an interesting thought. You solve the puzzles, you get access to the towers, you enable a beam, and if you do it 3 times, you get access to the megastructure.
Maybe, but why?
I don't know. It's a mystery. Don't you like mysteries, Al? Everybody likes a good mystery.
You know what I like? Certainty.
We should... I say we continue on, you know, live a little.
That's the spirit. 1K, keep solving puzzles. The rest of you, as you were.
So there's only 3 of them. Alright. I do that, like, here because normally I have my recording software record the game and there's a little number on the top right that becomes red, indicating that it's on, but for whatever reason that doesn't work with this game. So I have to record my desktop. I wonder if that, like, you know, little Prometheus spark, the one that I found doing parkour, is a token that allows me to reset the puzzle. That one up there, like above the 2 other spark things. I mean, they'd be good to have, you know, obviously, but they may not be integral to solving everything. Three colors. Let me guess. Red, green, and blue.
Hey 1K, what's up?
Or maybe they'll be fancy and it'll be red, gold, and green. What do you think the towers are for?
Maybe they're for powering up the megastructure? Or maybe they just open it, like keys. Why? No idea. But aren't they gorgeous? Just incredible feats of engineering?
Yeah, actually, they are pretty cool.
I don't know who built this place, but whoever they were, they must have had a purpose. Making something so beautiful feels like a statement of intent.
Well, that's not always the case, though. Like, you know, natural beauty can occur, and there's no intent in nature. It's blind, selective pressures and forces. I like how all the gates are just unlocked after you beat the puzzle. Which actually might be how you solve, you know, like the statue one. Maybe you beat the puzzle, leave, you come back, and the gates are all open, so it's easier to do that.
I think we're done here for now. Let's head over to the next site.
Whether it is true that Daedalus constructed the giant Talos, or as others say he was the creation of Hephaestus, what we may be certain of is that he was made of bronze and had but one vein, within which flowed a liquid substance like blood, which some claim was quicksilver, and others assert was ichor, such as flows in the veins of the gods. The loss of that liquid caused him to die, as a man dies when he loses his blood. May we not then say that Talos, though created as a machine or a toy, had all the essential properties of a man? He moved of his own volition, he spoke and could be spoken to, had wishes and desires. Indeed, in the tale of the Argonauts, that was the cause of his downfall. If then a machine may have all the properties of a man, and act as a man while driven only by the ingenious plan of its construction and the interaction of its materials according to the principles of nature, then does it not follow that man may also be seen as a machine? This contradicts all the schools of metaphysics. Yet even the most faithful philosopher cannot live without his blood.
Sounds like a very principled philosophy there. Alright, so I'm gonna talk to this guy here, and then I'll head over, and the rest of the video after I leave this area will just be a video of me kind of free running around, showing off the environment and whatnot. Alcatraz. Well, says he wants to talk, but he doesn't want to talk. Alright then. Actually, this is like a one-person ride. How the hell did they get over here? So back to, center base. I mean, it's had to be designed by robots since it has a hand symbol on it. It would be weird if, like, it turns out there was also another, you know, huge robot manufacturing facility or whatever. I guess that's what those do. Those 3, sun portals there. Can we leave now? I do legitimately wonder if we'll go back to the city at some point. See if the gate is also partially open here. No! It's not. Huh. So I guess I've gotten most. Says I got 0 of 8, but that's not the case. Oh, is it for this? Or is it for that? This one. There's one gold puzzle I haven't done, but I think that's dependent on doing the hidden ones, the lost puzzles first. I've discovered one of the lost labs. This is gonna be, I guess, a similar thing. Also got all the stars. Alright, let's at least see East 2, and then I'll stop the video.
Alright everybody, I'm sure you're all excited to check out the next site, but while you're there, remember that I'm still trying to fix the rest of the transport system. You know, to get that success rate up a bit. Maybe there's another one of those labs that Wonka found. If there is, look for more documentation, please.
Why is she so salty about the success rate thing? Alright, so this is a wooded grove by the looks of it. One of those over there. Looks to be a lot less artificial construct heavy. It's one of those tokens.
I think you just picked up some kind of decryption key. Could try using it on those terminals inside the puzzles.
Yeah, I think grabbing those allows you to restart the puzzle. Can I talk to you?
Did something break?
I hear you're a big fan of Yakut's cat.
Listen, one day that furry little demon is gonna pee on the wrong cable and all of New Jerusalem will just turn off. Forget about the megastructure. He's the biggest threat to our security.
Yeah, a lot less artificial architecture heavy. There's challenge 1, which we will do in the next episode. I think going world to world is the best way to handle it anyways. So I hope you enjoyed the video, that I gave you something to think about and otherwise entertained you. Take care.